Hi, what's up? Good evening, everyone. So, we've actually been getting a little bit of action on Bitcoin today. So, we're going to take a look at total crypto market cap first, and then we'll hop on Bitcoin and see how that's looking. So, on the daily for the total crypto market cap, we can see on the MACD that the bears are still losing momentum. So, that's really nice and what we want to be seeing. The RSI was just quite oversold, and now we're back in right around the 31, 32 area. So, still lots of room for the upside there. Looks like it was attempting to gain some momentum here on the 4 hour as well, so I'm liking the looks of that there. And we just had some nice bullish divergence that's attempting to play out as well. So on top of all that, for the total crypto market cap, we actually came down to the 0.5 fib level. So this would be an absolutely great place for us to bounce. I could see altcoins getting a beautiful rally at that point if we see the total crypto market cap come back around and continue to rally from here. On the 1 hour we were just oversold and looks like some minor bearish divergence as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see it cool off a little bit, but the larger time frames are looking like we do want to attempt to rally on the total crypto market cap now. So I'm liking the looks of the total for right now. Alright, so Bitcoin had some nice 4 hour bullish divergence. Looking like it's been just on a slow little climb here over the past, let's see, I think that's about 3 days. Oh, a little longer. So just been on a very slow climb here, but what I'm really liking is the looks of the MACD on Bitcoin currently. So you can see those 4 days here of the bears losing momentum, and then 2 days straight of bullish momentum beginning to grow, and these bullish engulfing candles here. So if we get above this fib level and start to form higher highs and higher lows, it's looking nice for a potential reversal. Now we really want to be holding this level on Bitcoin between about 28.5 thousand, 28.7 I guess, between 32,500 roughly. It's 32,485 for the fib level here. So this is the strong final support I really want to see us hold. So the way that it's just coming down wicks here, looks like it's on a slow little climb, looking like momentum is starting to try to build bullish again. I'm liking the looks of Bitcoin at the moment for a potential reversal. So there's no bearish divergence on the 1 hour like total crypto market cap. So that's looking better. Wouldn't really be surprised if we see a little consolidation on the smaller time frames, but larger time frames, it's looking like Bitcoin does want to at least make an attempt at cracking this fib level here. So if we do end up getting some higher highs and higher lows above here and starting to show more signs of bullish momentum building, going to really be liking the looks of Bitcoin in the coming days if we see that play out. So we'll definitely be coming back here. Alright, now let's see how XRP's looking today. Okay, on the daily we still have bearish momentum getting weaker, and the RSI is actually still quite oversold. Yeah, looking like we do actually have some 4 hour bullish divergence as well, and the RSI still has lots of room for it to run to the upside. So same thing as total and Bitcoin. I wouldn't really be surprised if on the smaller time frames we see a little consolidation here and just maybe a minor pullback. Larger time frames, XRP is looking like if total decides to run that this is probably going to start to rally as well. So I'm liking the looks of XRP at this area. And whenever we look back at the previous market cycle, we can see XRP got a nice initial run up, cooled off for quite a little while here, and then whenever it was done, just got an explosive, beautiful, almost vertical rally up, going from 22 cents roughly here, all the way up to $3.30 roughly. So what this looks more like to me would be the smaller rally that we had on XRP last cycle. Then we got some cooling off for a bit, cool off. So if we do end up seeing a nice beautiful rally like we did there, we're in for some phenomenal upside momentum on XRP in the coming weeks. Assuming that we do follow previous cycle, because I didn't see any price action, anything like this yet this cycle. So really liking the looks of this asset for both an accumulation area and potential reversal, especially with the way that it looked the previous cycle. And here's another coin that was looking quite nice today, VVS Finance. So the stochastic on the daily is still looking nice and bullish. I'm liking the looks of that. And we did have some 4-hour bullish divergence right here as well. So the candles are trending down, but the RSI is trending up. So that would be a sign of a potential reversal. So now the RSI is currently overbought, and the stochastic is also flipped bearish on the 4-hour. So I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever if we see some consolidation here for a couple of days. But the way that it's looking, this asset is pretty floored, like pretty close to the starting price that it was at on day one. So this would be a great accumulation zone and also a great zone for a potential reversal based on the bullish divergence and the way that the daily stochastic's currently looking. Yeah, VVS is just looking great to me at the moment. Really liking the looks of this asset. Wouldn't be surprised if we do see some more consolidation, but I think there's a very nice probability of getting the reversal to the upside soon. Alright, now let's see how Thor's looking. Thor is looking quite nice today. So the daily's rounding out, looking like it's attempting to come back up. 4 hours looking nice and bullish there. The 1 hour is cross bullish as well. I'm really liking the looks of the candles, the way that it just rallied up, came back and retested the fib level as support instead of resistance now, and now it's attempting to push off here to the upside. So Thor's looking quite nice actually, especially after the little dip that it had below support. So ideally what we want to see here on Thor now is going to be for this asset to climb back up into this support and then form support at previous resistance levels here. So if we can form a higher low and higher high above this support level, things are going to be looking great on Thor at that point. Especially if we get this daily bullish cross here. If the blue line crosses above the orange to the upside, Thor will be looking phenomenal for a nice rally at that point. I don't believe this asset's old enough to have much information on the weekly. No, this is what I figured. So, just based on the daily though, I'm actually really liking the looks of Thor. I'm going to be watching for the next few days to see if we get that daily bullish cross, and at that point I wouldn't be surprised if we see a rally up to anywhere between 370, something along that range. And maybe in an extreme situation we could touch the top of the fib extension around 486. So really like the looks of Thor based on the chart at the moment. And now let's take a look at power and see how that's doing today. So the daily is currently bearish, and as well as the 4-hour stochastic. So I'm going to want to watch for a bullish cross. So I'm just seeing a lot of consolidation going on for the time being. But to me this looks like accumulation. Higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Yeah, it looks a lot to me like there's just a whole lot of accumulation going on at this area, and it's going to attempt to get a nice rally. So personally I'm liking the looks of power as well. Especially once we see the 4-hour and the daily stochastics come back around and cross bullish. I wouldn't be surprised if this asset gets a nice rally at that point. So I'll be keeping an eye out for bullish crosses on power in the next coming days. And if we get a higher high to complement the higher lows we've been seeing, it's going to be looking great for a rally. Alright, now let's check out how gold's looking today. On the daily, we got the first bearish momentum on the MACD we've had in a little while, and a daily bearish engulfing candle, and right under the support level there. So as long as we don't drop below, let's see, 1678 roughly, this low right here, still looking good. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe it attempted to touch off this fib level here and bounce off. But as long as we don't drop below here or drop back into this channel, it's looking great for a potential rally. So what we're going to want to see on gold will be a high above right here. At that point it's looking good. And if we get a high above this high right here, gold's looking phenomenal for a rally at that point. Going to wait for a bit more information to develop on this asset, but I also like the way that we have some bullish divergence here on the 1 hour. You can see the way that the candles are going down, but the RSI is trending upwards. And we also have a little bit of bullish momentum starting to build on the MACD. So gold's looking nice for attempting to come back up into the support level. If we form a higher low up in here, it's going to be looking great. So I'm really liking the looks of gold for the time being. Alright, now let's see how silver's looking. First bearish momentum we've had on the daily in a little bit, and it looks like it almost came down to this little support that we have marked up here. Bearish engulfing for now. On the 1 hour, there's some bullish divergence and tiny bit of bullish momentum growing on the MACD, so I'm going to wait to see if that matures into some more bullish momentum there. And there's still quite a lot of upside for the RSI to run if it does decide to take an attempt at rallying. So I am seeing some consolidation on silver, but it's looking more likely that it's going to take a rally than come down for a break of the lows. So I'd say gold's currently looking nicer than silver, but silver's still looking nice to me for a potential rally as well soon. Alright, so Hex, we still have bearish momentum growing on the weekly, bearish engulfing candle. We do have hidden bullish divergence here. So you can see the way that the candles are trending down, but the MACD's trending up like this. And some bullish divergence here on the 4 hour. Still lots of room on the RSI for it to run to the upside, but there is a tiny bit of bearish momentum here. And on the 1 hour, it's actually oversold now. Still see a little bit of bearish momentum there, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see some consolidation in the coming days on Hex, and at that point it'll probably be looking a little nicer for an attempted rally. So we're just going to come back to this asset in the future streams over the next couple of days and see how it's looking. Overall, I am liking the looks of it, but I wouldn't really be surprised if it does decide to pull back a little more before it runs. Alright, now let's see how Doge is looking today. So, daily bullish divergence here on the RSI, that's what we want to be seeing. Very floored prices, we're currently under the fib level here. Daily bearish momentum's getting weaker. We were just very oversold on the 4-hour RSI and we didn't get to overbought yet. And on the, well, over here we were overbought a bit, but I'm just seeing a little bit of consolidation on smaller time frame for now, but larger time frames, Doge is looking like both a phenomenal entry down here, absolutely floored, so the risk reward ratio is great on this asset, but we're also looking like there's a potential reversal going on Doge on the moment. So, most of the action on Doge has just been between here and the 786 fib level. So there is going to be a significant little bit of resistance that Doge is going to have to get through here. But once we get above, let's see, 30 cents roughly, there's really not much at all here for volume on the volume profile. So as soon as we can break up above the 30-cent range on Doge, it's looking like there's a very high probability of this asset just going parabolic. Overall, I'm just really loving the looks of Doge. Definitely one of the nicest looking assets that I'm already took a look at today and that I'm going to be taking a look at today. So, Doge is looking great. I'm accumulating down at these levels 100%. And let's take a look at how the other dog coins looking today. Shiba Inu. Weekly bearish engulfing, attempting to come below the 786. The daily, though, I'm liking the looks of. We were just quite oversold right here, all the way down to 21 on the RSI, roughly. And the daily bearish momentum's getting weaker. Now, this isn't a nice risk reward like we have on Doge, but still looking pretty nice. It's a little over 4x the previous all-time highs. The daily RSI still looks really nice. Just slightly starting to get back over that 30 range. So out of the two, I find Doge definitely does look nicer, but this is definitely still looking like a nice potential rally coming here. Okay, so looking like a lot of the action is going on right around 00002618. So once we see Doge get back into this control area and start rallying, it's looking pretty nice as well. We pretty well just don't want to see it fall down here around this level because that's going to be very hard to get back above if it starts to trade around this range. So currently I am liking the looks of Shiba Inu. Doge of the two would definitely be my preferred asset, but just based on the chart, I don't mind the looks of SHIB right now. It's looking like there's nice potential to rally. Alright, now let's see how Ethereum's looking today. Okay, so we were just quite oversold here on the daily. Getting back above the 30 on the RSI, so that's looking nice. Just had several days here of bearish momentum getting weaker, and now we actually have the first bit of bullish momentum, which is great because we're right here pressed against the fib level attempting to rally. And bullish divergence here on the 4 hour as well attempting to play out. The RSI didn't get oversold yet, or overbought. And same thing as Bitcoin, Total, and XRP. 1 hour still showing like we got some consolidation going on. Larger time frames, it does look like this asset wants to make an attempt at rallying though. So on the more significant cryptos, I'm really liking the looks for a potential rally in the coming days. Is there anything that you guys want me to check out for you tonight? Alright, so on the Dow Jones, weekly bearish engulfing candle under the support level. A lot of bearish momentum there on the MACD. On the MACD on the daily though, that's what we want to be seeing. 3 days straight of the bearish momentum getting weaker. We were just quite oversold here. And so what we want to be seeing in the coming days this week is for the Dow Jones to get back up in this support level and form a low somewhere above this support. And at that point, really going to be liking the looks of the stock indexes a lot more for a rally. If we form resistance off of this support level and bounce off of it and go to the downside, that's not going to be good whatsoever because there's quite a lot of downside potential there. But as long as we can get back above the support and form a low, I'm still liking the looks at that point. Now, if it doesn't get back up above that support level and does decide to pull back further, the 236 at 32,402 is a very likely fib level we're going to retouch, but I also wouldn't be surprised whatsoever if we touch the 382 fib level, which would be 29,663 right here. And that would be the top right before we had the big COVID crash in March. So if we come down and form support at that previous very, very significant resistance level, the previous top, at that point I'd love the looks of the Dow Jones. But for the time being, the stock indexes are looking pretty sketchy to me. Alright, now let's see how the S&P 500's looking today. So same thing on the weekly, lots of bearish momentum there. 2 weeks straight of bearishly engulfing below the support level on the S&P 500. So 3 days straight of the bearish momentum getting weaker on the daily, and the RSI is very oversold as well. So same thing as the Dow Jones, what we want to be seeing is for this to rally back up above this support and then form a higher low above this support level. And at that point, same thing as the Dow Jones, I'll be liking the looks of the S&P 500 at that point. Yeah, on the 4 hour, we could also see bearish divergence right here. RSI is looking nice, like it's attempting to run as well, still lots of room to run. And the MACD is actually showing a little bit of bullish momentum starting to build here. So, just based on the weekly here, I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever if we see the 236, 3,839 points. But more realistically, the 382, same as the Dow Jones, as that was the previous top before we had the big COVID crash. So that would be 3,233 points. Now, same deal with the Dow Jones. If we come down, form a support at this previous very significant resistance level, going to be looking great at that point. But that's going to be important to form a support level there, because if not, there's a lot of downside potential. Especially with the way that we just had this strong of a rally in this period of time. Just since 2020 of March, we've gone from 2,255 all the way up to 4,817 points. So that would be a bit over double within probably about a year and a half, 2 years, something along that lines. So that's a crazy rally right there, and nothing goes up forever. So with these stock indexes, I wouldn't be surprised if the Federal Reserve just prints out a whole bunch of money and then the pattern invalidates and it does just get a nice run up. But if we're going just purely based off the technicals, it's not really looked the greatest for the time being. We're going to want to see either getting up above the support level here, or if we do get a pullback, it's going to be very important to form support at that previous top there, which would be the 382 on both the Dow Jones and the S&P 500. So I'll take a look at the NASDAQ quick, and if there's nothing else that you guys want me to check out for you tonight, I'm probably going to call it a night. Alright, so on the NASDAQ, that is a scary amount of bearish momentum right here on the weekly. And on the daily, we have 2 days straight of the bears losing momentum, and the RSI is also quite oversold. Little bit of a green candle attempting there, so it's looking alright there, at least attempting to hold. 4-hour bullish divergence. Still lots of room for the RSI to run. I'm also liking the looks of the MACD there, bullish momentum growing. So if we can get back up above the support level, form a higher low there, looking good at that point. But if we break to the downside on the NASDAQ, let me see here. So 236, 13,026 points, very likely to retouch there. 382 would be 10,689. That wouldn't really surprise me either. But here we could go all the way down to the 0.5 fib level, as that would be around the previous top that we had before the March COVID pullback. So if that were the case, that would pull back all the way down to 8,800 points on the NASDAQ, which that would be a very significant pullback if we get that. So we're going to want to wait and see if it can get back above the support level and form a higher low. And if not, well, could pull back all the way down to there. And if the stock indexes do decide to keep on falling farther and don't form support at that previous top, well, scary downside at that point. Because if we got all the way down to the 618 or the 786 on the stock indexes, that's the 786 is about a quarter roughly of where we are at the previous top, which would be a horrible drop. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on the stock indexes in the coming days and weeks to see how it all plays out, because this is going to be pretty significant movement, I'm assuming, over the coming weeks, but it's going to be interesting to see, to say the least. And if you guys don't have anything that you want me to check out for you tonight, I'm going to call it a night. Alright, have a great evening, everyone. Talk to you all on Monday.
Does calculus leave you confused? Do you feel lost and clueless?
there's no way to slow it down. We're all dreamers, dreaming of the good life, but there's nothing that nice on the cards for us. It's alright though, cause we can have a good time, and we don't worry if it's dangerous. So take this ride and hold on tight. We're gonna live forever now, and side by side, we don't need light. We're gonna live forever now. You feel that touch and all the love, it makes us live forever now. We don't look up, we rise above. We're gonna live forever now. We're gonna live forever now. We've come so far, but it wasn't without a fight. We share these scars, but they won't keep us out of sight. We're all dreamers, dreaming of the good life, but there's nothing that nice on the cards for us. It's alright though, cause we can have a good time, and we don't worry if it's dangerous. So take this ride and hold on tight. We're gonna live forever now, and side by side, we don't need light. We're gonna live forever now. You feel that touch and all the love, it makes us live forever now. We don't look up, we rise above. We're gonna live forever now. We're gonna live forever now. Some shooting stars, can't buy those fancy cars. Down by the boulevard, nobody cares tonight. We know that life is hard, not like the movie stars, but we know who we are in our broken paradise. We're gonna live forever now.
Wilted bodies slowly covering the light. Pull the trigger every night to stay alive. Hope is missing, but you're running out of time. If I could only read your mind. Read your mind. If I could only read your mind.
You just caught 24K gold